We are live.
This meeting of the Committee of the Whole Operations is now called to order. I'd ask you to rise as you are able for the reading of the invocation. As we come together today, we recognize the great responsibilities laid upon us. Our council will always strive to understand the needs of the people we serve and to use power wisely and well. Our purpose is to establish and maintain a city of prosperity and righteousness where freedom prevails and where justice rules. We acknowledge the rich history of this land, which includes the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee peoples. Today, there are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples who live or work in the city. The intent of this acknowledgement is to recognize our responsibility and to use and take care of these lands responsibly and respectfully while remembering the generations past and considering the generations to come. We respect and seek to continue and promote the long-standing relationships with this area's First Nations, the Six Nations of the Grand River First Nation, and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and the Indigenous peoples who reside within the city of Brantford. Let us also not forget those who served our community and who are no longer with us, so that we can continue to do the work we must in their memory. The roll's been taken.
Through the chair, roll has been taken.
Members of the committee, are there any declarations of pecuniary interest for the appearing items on the agenda? Seeing none. At this time, I will ask members of the committee what items they would like to separate for discussion purposes. Please note that item 6.2.3 is automatically separated as there is a delegation. Councilor Martin.
6.1.1, please.
6.1.1. Pardon me. Councilor Martin, could you clarify if that's for item 0.1.2 or for both even?
Actually, for both.
Thank you, Councilor Martin.
Thank you.
Councilor Sullivan, can you please move the motion to approve all items from consideration and consent that are not separated for purposes of discussion?
Absolutely. Moved by myself, seconded by my ward mate, Councillor Sicoli, that all items contained in consideration consent 6.1 and 6.2 not separated for discussion purposes be approved.
I would ask the clerk to please read the titles of all items that are subject to the vote and then proceed with the vote.
The items subject to the vote are as follows. Item 6.2.1, the minutes. Item 6.2.2, City Grants 2025 Annual Report. And item 6.2.4, Healthy Aging Strategy Annual Update.
Thank you. Members of the committee, we have two delegations. Oh, do we have to do the vote first? Let's do the vote first. I'm in a rush to get to these the delegations. Pardon me? Oh, you just need my vote. Well, there we go. We're all in.
The motion for all items not separated carries on a recorded vote of 10-0. Those voting in favor, Councillors Sullivan, Sicoli, Sless, Caputo, McCreary, Martin, Carpenter, Hunt, Samuel, and Van Tilburg.
All right. Members of the committee, we have two delegations. Prior to hearing the delegations, I would remind those in the meeting today of the following rules of decorum as set forth by the city procedures by law that apply. No person shall display any sign, banner, placard in the meeting room other than materials that, in the opinion of the chair, are legitimate audiovisual aids necessary in connection with any presentation made to council. All persons shall use polite and respectful language and shall refrain from the use of any language or the making of any gesture that is disrespectful or offensive. All persons addressing the council shall speak only on the subject of the debate and shall not speak on any other subject. And no person shall applaud participants in the debate or engage in conversation or behavior that may disrupt the proceedings of the meetings. I would now ask that Dave Levac come forward and speak to item 7.1. You have 10 minutes inclusive of questions. Start as you feel free.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Dave Levac. I'm a retired educator and retired from the position of MPP of Brant. And with me, I have support from Ross Enslev, Bob Phillips, and Rob Lorenz. You'll see that in the presentation, these four people, the total of us have designed something for the city. Free Sports for Growth is an organization that has not-for-profit calculations. And we now have formed in the late 2022, 23, and it's an outgrowth of Ross Enslev's 3 books that he has written about Brantford, outdoor sports, and athletes and people, and how parks were used in the 60s, 70s, and sometimes in the 80s. Our vision is for kids regarding the use of outdoor parks and sports, and our main purpose is to provide equipment free of charge to all children that come with an adult to our giveaways. We also have a vision, and it was shared over pizza in Ross's backyard with your former CAO, Brian Hutchings. We needed a place to operate to give these materials away. Brian came up with a temporary home, Earl Haig Park, during the winter, with the understanding that we only had it for the winter. And it ended up being a win-win situation where we were able to have a home where we could accumulate all these sports pieces and give them out. And the city had presence at Earl Haig, which I understand has diminished during our presence there, had diminished the graffiti, the break-in attempts, et cetera, et cetera. So it worked out quite well, except we needed a permanent home. And what happened was, through the work of city staff and others who came up with the idea, I guess is the best way to say it, we now live at the cricket club in Cockshutt Park. The use of that building has been immense. It's perfectly located for us to do our giveaways. It's quite central to the areas in which use our services quite well. And then Ross and I had a chat over coffee and came up with the real vision that we have for us tonight. Enter Rob Lorenz. Rob Lorenz is the son of a well-known person for those that have been living long in Brantford, Bruce Lorenz, who used to be a well-known athlete, participated in sports in our neighborhoods, and also was a really well-known football umpire and a basketball ref. Rob was touched by Ross's books and said, how can I help? Because Ross and Rob know each other. And little did we know, or I knew, Ross might have known, I did not know, that Rob was associated with a very large company out west called Charles Jones. And Charles Jones is a very large construction company that does work across the country and in North America, and I think around the world. Not around the world. Well, he hasn't taken over yet, but he's taken over North America. And he said, how can I help you guys? And we shared our vision, and he said, let's do it. Well, that vision took another pizza party at Ross's backyard to create the ice surface request that you see before you in terms of our support for the motion that is going to be placed before council. So we had a meeting with Mayor Davis, CAO Hutchings, park staff, and we met at Conklin Park, which was the site that was chosen by city staff and a few of the politicians, which we had a meet with Councillor Carpenter and Councillor Hunt. Enter Bob Phillips. Bob Phillips is the primary architect for Cahoon Engineering and came on board pro bono. And he designed for us the design you will see this evening, which is a ice rink outdoors, NHL size with bleachers, but it's outdoors. Going to have a roof. And we have, with our meetings with Kim at the parks, we added some features to it that I'm sure the council will like. Well, this is going to be an offer to the city that, as some people characterize it, an offer you couldn't refuse. We want to build it free of charge to the city on the capital side. And subsequent to that, we have, I'm going to keep this short. We have, just so that you know, we have many partners, and some of those partners are us, the city of Brantford, Watrous, Millards, Brant Mutual, Cahoon Engineering, Laurier, Brantford Minor Baseball, the Galaxy Soccer, Roustons, the Brantford Bulldogs, Brantford Immigration Partnership, Levax, various neighborhood associations who we've met with and already done giveaways, the Enrique Montour Foundation, the Brant United Way, Vicano, Rawlings, Lescheck Developments, and of course, Charles Jones. This is going to be a project that our committee will do all the raising of the money and all of the in-kind pro bono work that is already in the works. But we need the motion passed in order for us to continue and start up our fundraising program, which allows us to deposit money into the city budget and have a line item on the budget which is specific to the Conklin Park project. And the reason why we're looking for that relief is for us to raise enough money to not only build the project, but whatever monies remain and any other fundraising we do to continue, it then becomes self-sufficient, meaning no other stress on the city's budget. This is going to be a pro bono gift to the city. At the present time, we were looking at a lease agreement that didn't need to happen, but the lease agreement would be that we own the park for the short period of time it takes to build it, and then we just simply break the lease and hand it back to the city to run as a facility for the city, with one caveat. We've asked for 4 hours a day for 7 days a week for free sport for growth, so that it's free no matter for who, under the guise of support from Free Sport for Growth. And then the rest of the building is up to the city on how it wants to run. We also have inside of the fundraiser, we have naming rights. We're going to do fundraising, and we believe it's going to be done rather quickly because of what Rob is bringing to the table. So therefore, in a very easy way, Free Sport for Growth is in total support of the motion before council this evening. If it is before you, it is? Okay, the motion will be provided for you, providing the Free Sports for Growth with a line item on the budget for Brantford will not allow the city to issue, will allow, I don't know how not, oh, I see. I have to reread that, please. Providing that the Free Sport for Growth with a line item in the budget of Brantford will not only allow the city to issue tax receipts for donations, but it will allow for further fundraising for regular maintenance of the project and building future projects. We want to thank you for your attention, and we hope you accept our gift. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Levac. I have a question from Councillor Slass. We've got about 1:40 left. So hopefully we can get some others in too.
Sure.
See what goes.
I'll be brief, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to thank you folks, for doing what you're doing. It's incredible. It's people that I've known for a very long time that are sitting here. Robbie Lorenz, I was your coach when you played minor hockey. Ross and I hung around BCI at the same time. Dave, I've known forever. Bob, I've known forever. And it's good people doing good things, I think, that make this community what it is. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. What I picture here is kind of a glorified old Lions Park.
That's fair to say, but it'll be a lot nicer.
Well, yeah, it's today's version of the old Lions Park.
Correct.
It's been updated. Yeah,
Correct.
that's terrific.
It has pipes, meaning we'll have ice regardless of the weather conditions under 40 degrees, I believe it is.
Very good. Thank you, and thanks again for what you're doing.
Councillor McCreary, you're next.
Chair, thank you very much. Welcome, guys. What good work. Larry would say you're doing the Lord's work. I wonder if you could elaborate on how you're going to deal with the success of this facility. How are you going to apportion your 4 hours of 7-day a week ice time?
Right. We haven't finished that negotiation yet because we needed to get to the stage where we believed we were going to be able to obtain the 4 hours. We want to negotiate with Parks on how to schedule this to make sure that the kids aren't assigned midnight for the 4 hours, which I'm sure they've already indicated to us that we know where we want to kind of help you plug, but we don't want to dictate, to be honest with you. This is going to be a facility that the city is going to be responsible for running, and we want to make sure that the city has the opportunity to make it work. The second thing on top of that is, for the money side of it, it's also the advertisements that are going to be on the board. It's going to be some permanent, I would say, naming rights, billboards. But as far as the kids are concerned, we would really hope to have it at reasonable hours in which the kids were either not going to be in school, they're going to be just before dinner, just after dinner, and then open up Saturday and Sunday to a more palatable time frame, but in concert with the Parks Department.
Super. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Councillor Carpenter, there is 10 seconds for a quick one.
10 seconds. This is also gonna have a gymnasium attached to it. It's gonna have a roof over it, so when it rains, the ice is still gonna be good. It's also going to be, any kid that shows up that needs a hockey stick is gonna get one. Any kid that shows up and needs skates is gonna get it. Any kid that shows up and needs a helmet is gonna get one. And so Free Sport for Growth is gonna be promoted there for kids to be able to be involved in sports regardless of their income.
Excellent. And in my answer, I'm allowed to go over the time, Mr. Chairman. I'm glad you brought it up because it's really important to designate that, with regards to Free Sport for Growth, we're not looking at getting anything extra. We're looking at getting something that we continue to do right now. So we've served over around 3,000 kids have received equipment from us over the 2 years so far. And the rink itself will be about 5 to 6 feet lower than ground level to beat out the wind. So it's already been thought out on how we're going to design it to ensure that it's available. There will be bleachers. We've talked to the Brantford Bulldogs and they want to partner with us to have maybe practices. We've contacted the alumni of the NHL who have indicated their willingness to do some fundraising and some activity in this park. And the other, what was the other part? Councillor Carpenter, you made the other point.
The other point was the gymnasium.
Oh, yes. The facilities are going to be year round, meaning we're going to have a gymnasium, we're going to have a canteen, we're going to have rooms for the Zamboni, which we're getting donated. And we're going to have other amenities so that you can have like a workroom, a workspace. Free Sport for Growth is asking for, and hopefully the city agrees in our design. We get a room so that we can do giveaways. And that's exactly what your point was, that in this giveaway, when the kids show up, little brother doesn't have a stick. We put a stick in his hand and he can go out and play. And summertime, it's going to be designated for outside city use. Who knows, whatever you decide you want to build on site on that pad is going to be available.
Thank you. Look, I'd like to thank the delegation for bringing this forward. We'll be discussing your items shortly. We just have another delegation to proceed with. So with that, as you leave, the next delegation will be coming up. I'd like to ask members of the Brantford Youth Council to come forward to speak to item 6.2.3, Brantford Youth Council Year in Review, Empowering Youth Strategy. And if you can, please state your names for the record. You'll have 10 minutes inclusive of questions.
Hello, my name is Emily. I am a member of the Brantford Youth Council. Currently, in the 11th grade and have been a member since grade 7. As a long-standing member, I am excited to be here today to talk about what Brantford Youth Council has accomplished in the last year and all of the things we are looking forward to as we begin our 2025 to 2026 term. Our new term has started off on a really exciting note, with over 20 new youth registering to join the council. We have representation from St. John's, North Park, BCI, PJ, and Assumption High Schools. Our leadership election will be taking place later this week, and we are looking forward to a fun, progressive, and innovative term. Next slide, please.
Hello, my name is Allison, and I'm new to BYC this term. BYC is an opportunity for youth in Brantford ages 13 to 18 to come together and collaborate. This is a committee that has existed in Brantford for almost 20 years. We are youth who care a lot about municipal affairs and making changes in our community. Through developing events and initiatives, we're learning leadership and project management skills. Tonight, we want to emphasize that BYC exists, is active, and is an opportunity to learn from youth about what's impacting youth in Brantford. We hope that our work also provides an opportunity to amplify and celebrate the amazing things youth in Brantford are up to. Next slide, please.
Hi, I'm Ellie. This is my 3rd year as a member of Brantford Youth Council. I'd like to reiterate the importance of BYC as the municipal project. We're proof that youth have important things to contribute, and as a council have been around since the early 2000s. We work hard to drive forward more opportunities for youth in the community and achieve this through hosting successful initiatives and providing our voices to a variety of community consultations every year. Youth are a growing and important demographics in Brantford. Brantford youth care a lot about our community and have valuable input about making community a great place now and into a future.
Hello, I'm Danielle, and I'm new to BYC this year. The rest of BYC's presentation this evening is going to review the priorities that our council is most curious to engage with. These have been established through consultations last year with BYC and other Brantford youth to help inform the city's empowering youth strategy. We're also going to review the great projects BYC led this past year and outline some of the things we hope to achieve this term. Opportunities like this to have our voices heard and our work showcased mean a lot to us. Next slide, please.
Hi, I'm Liam. This is my 3rd year as a member of Brantford Youth Council. When the Empowering Youth Strategy was updated last year, we spent time reflecting on aspects of the community that align with our interests, concerns, and curiosities. This process led us to establishing 8 key priorities to explore. In no particular order, our priorities are employment. We know that youth in Brantford are looking for work and thinking about our future careers. Food. Many youth in Brantford don't have daily access to food. Many of us are curious about food sustainability and food access in our community. Getting around. Youth are concerned about access to transportation, the walkability of our community, improving transit, and safe, environmentally sustainable ways to get around in Brantford. Participation. You'd like to say there's nowhere to go and nothing to do here. We'd like to prove this idea wrong.
Hi, I'm Jacob. This is my 2nd year as a member of BYC. Picking up where Liam left off, our other priorities include leadership. Brantford youth want opportunities to develop leadership skills and to have our voices heard as leaders in the community. Shelter. Not every youth in Brantford has access to secure housing, and many of us are worried about entering the rental or homeownership markets when the next phases of our lives begin after high school. Mental health and substance use. It's important to know that youth in Brantford report lower mental health wellness than the provincial average. Safety and belonging. We want to ensure that all youth in our community feel a sense of safety and belonging when participating in public life. Next slide, please.
Hi, I'm Arbor, and I'm a 3rd-year member of BYC. This evening, I get to tell you about some of the great things we accomplished last year. Last spring, we hosted the first formal meeting between Brantford City Council and Brantford Youth Council. We discussed favorite community programs and current issues impacting youth in Brantford. Last winter, we hosted a youth mental health resource fair with funding through a budding project grant. 13 community partners hosted booths at TV Costain Community Center to share their mental health resources for youth in Brantford. We had pizza, a hot chocolate station, decorated tote bags, and a banner. As part of Youth Week, we hosted a citywide scavenger hunt, highlighting local points of interest and encouraging youth to get out and explore the community. The prize included gift cards for local businesses. It was important to us to encourage local youth to get more familiar with local places. We launched a youth Little Free Library in Rotary Waterworks Park because it feels important to us to promote visiting outside spaces in the community and promoting youth literacy. We also consulted on the Youth Healthy Relationships campaign, which had a very successful launch in 2024. This campaign is set to be relaunched this fall. Next slide, please.
Good evening. My name is Ruby, and I am a new member of BYC. Following all the awesome projects BYC took on last year, I'm excited to see what we achieved this year. Our plans for this term include planning another meeting with Brantford City Council, participating in Local Government Week, expanding the Brantford Youth Excellence Awards, including a venue change to the Sanderson Center this coming year, and adding a new History and Culture Subcommittee for our 2026 work plan. Thank you so much, Council, for the time to listen to us tonight and our work connected to the city's Empowering Youth strategy. Work the city is taking on to support youth in Brantford matters a lot. We appreciate the space to discuss what we've accomplished, what we're aspiring to do, and for opportunities like BYC to amplify the perspectives of youth leaders who are excited to keep making Brantford a community where all youth can thrive. Thank you.
And thank you. Councilor Carpenter, you have a question.
First of all, thank you for coming here and thank you for what you do. You are truly leaders in our community. We appreciate it, your positive enthusiasm. In your upcoming initiative, you talk about recruiting youth members to represent each city of Brantford ward. I like this. And each local high school. How many were you looking for each ward and how did you see that working? Any ideas?
Hopefully at least 2 per ward, because last year it was just Ward 3. So this year I think we have more of each ward.
Oh, great. And then you want to work on improve the Little Free Library. That's at Woodman Park Committee in Ward 4. When you say improve it, you want to add more books to more opportunity?
I believe just like continuing maintenance, and ensuring it is still a vital part of Ward 4.
Okay, thank you. And then one more thing, that next year is the municipal election. All these seats will be vacant and be available. Hopefully you'll get involved in that election in some way, or at least follow it, or maybe some of you will even run for office. You are future leaders for certain. Thank you for that.
Okay, seeing no further questions, I want to thank you all as a delegation. You put a lot in a short period of time. We'll be discussing your items shortly, so you feel free to take a seat behind you and we'll get to it as soon as possible. Before we take up items for consideration, we will consider item 7.1. Outdoor ice surface facility by Free Sport for Growth. Councillor Hunt, as there was a delegation that's coming up first, could you read your motion and state your seconder?
I'm very pleased to. So moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Carpenter. Whereas Free Sport for Growth is a local not-for-profit organization with a vision to reignite children's passion for outdoor activities and a mission to promote physical health and social interaction of children. And whereas Free Sport for Growth raises funds through charitable donations and events to provide free sports equipment to children. And whereas Free Sport for Growth has been exploring the possibility of building an outdoor ice surface facility at Conklin Park on Murray Street. And whereas the city of Brantford currently doesn't have a regulation-sized outdoor ice surface and would benefit from having an outdoor ice surface facility providing recreation space for children. And whereas the proposed facility in the summer will provide additional space for racket sports and additional day camp space. And whereas Free Sport for Growth project is intended to be constructed at no cost to the Brantford taxpayer. And whereas Free Sport for Growth requests collaboration from the city, including permitting, receipt of charitable donations, and project support. Now therefore it be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the City of Brantford approves in principle Free Sport for Growth's proposed project to develop an outdoor ice surface facility and community center at Conklin Park on Murray Street, and that staff be directed to provide support as required to bring this project to execution, establish a separate account to receive donations and receipt funds towards this project, issue donation receipts to donors who contribute to the project, negotiate an agreement with Free Sport for Growth outlining the terms of reference for the project in a form approved by the city solicitor or designate, assist with the coordination of a neighborhood meeting in the fourth quarter of 2025 to provide information on the project to the residents in the area of Conklin Park, and finally to report back to City Council prior to construction of the project. And if I can speak to it, Chair. First of all, I do want to recognize the four gentlemen that are here tonight, Rob, Bob, Dave, and Ross. When I was first contacted by Dave about this project that they had happening in Ward 4 and found out it was at Conklin Park, I was thrilled. I grew up on Campbell Street between Brock and Rawdon and spent a lot of my misspent youth at Conklin Park, which was back, I'm dating myself, a good, we'll say 40 to 50 years ago, was a very vibrant park in our neighborhood and was enjoyed by a lot of children and a lot of kids that I grew up with that are now very excited to see something else going there. And I will say from the standpoint of that area of Ward 4, it's also a park that has been somewhat been left to be deserted. The playground equipment there is been decommissioned. The baseball diamond has been decommissioned. And so now it's really a vacant piece of land. And so this project that these gentlemen have brought forward is just, in my mind, something that is going to revitalize that entire area and revitalize a park that has been left to go into a derelict state of disrepair. And so I am thrilled that they chose Ward 4 to bring this project to life, and really hope that we can count on all of council's support to move this forward. And so I want to thank the Free Sport for Growth youth group for for bringing this project forward. And this is a real win for the city. This is a group that's going to build a facility that they are then going to hand over to the city as a capital asset that we couldn't afford as a city to build on our own. And that's really something to be commended. So thank you very much for all that you're doing.
Councillor Carpenter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You did a fine job. Councillor Hunt and I have been talking with the group for, almost a year, maybe over a year, when we first broached us on this subject. And we all know, all members of council know, that winter ice is a rarity in Brantford. We get some winters, it's cold enough to get to the winter to get maybe a month of winter ice, but most times not anymore. With global warming, chance of having a solid winter are few and far between. But this would have ice chillers in it. This ice would be maintained throughout the winter months, and the youth would have an access to winter ice like we used to do it. In fact, the last time I recall, we did have a chilled ice rink one time, I think, in the park under the bridge by Civic Center. Councillor Sluss will remember that, I'm sure. And that was well used. So the other thing is having a gym attached to it, washrooms, facilities attached to it will be a fantastic addition to the neighborhood. As you know, this is the neighborhood that's a couple blocks from what used to be Airedale Golf Course. So there is nothing in the area at this moment. This will be a big addition. And to the other councillors, the long-term approach, if I could share the vision, the long-term vision is to put one in every ward. So we may be just the first if this is successful, and I believe it will be. and then we'll be moving around wards. It just happened to be that Conklin Park was empty and available, and that's why Ward 4 is chosen, not because Linda and I are spectacular, but we are. So this is a wonderful venue. I think it'll be very successful, and the free growth concept of making sure every child can play is excellent. And having Parks Board be able to manage the operations once it's finished and we have free time available, that's also a good thing. Our Parks Board do a good job of that now. So I'm hoping everyone will support it. Before, after the last person spoke, I have a minor amendment I'd like to add to this when everyone's finished speaking. But I hope everyone supports this 100%, and we can move forward with getting this done. I'm sure people will all want to contribute to this. As I think the speakers have said earlier, there's a lot of people are saying yes, even just to the concept. Once we get approval, then we get some signs up. We can get rolling, and you'll see. It's a good community booster. Community be proud to do these things and be proud of what we're doing to support it. Thank you.
Councillor Samuel.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Chair. I've been following Free Sports growth since they started giving away sports equipment to kids. From day one, they have shown it's not about the gear. It's about making sure every child has a chance to play, be active, and feel included. This project is the kind of community building we need in Brantford, where residents, nonprofits, and the city work together to create spaces that bring people together and promote healthy living. A regulation-sized outdoor ice surface would be a first in our city. And more importantly, it's a place that would be safe, accessible, and a place for kids to play year-round. It's an opportunity to say yes to healthy activity, yes to creative partnerships, and yes to investing in neighborhood spaces that make Brantford stronger. And I want to say thank you to Free Sports Growth for all you do, and to Councillor Hunt and Carpenter for bringing this forward. I'll be supporting this tonight, and I look forward to what comes next. Thank you.
Councillor Martin.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you to all the volunteers. It's volunteers that make Brantford great. Not every community is blessed with the quality and quantity of volunteers that we are. We really appreciate everything you do, and you've done amazing work up till now, and this project just takes that up tenfold. And I want to thank you for your involvement with this and your big idea. I mean, you got to think big sometimes. And one of the things I really appreciate is that there's going to be a roof over this rink. Because anybody who's worked on a neighborhood rink knows that one warm sunny day in January can ruin 2 weeks worth of ice buildup. And even though this will be an artificial rink, a warm sunny day would play havoc with the ice surface and cause a lot of problems. So having the roof over it will make it easier to maintain the ice, allow for better quality ice and better quality for all the children that use this facility. I think this is an amazing project. I wholeheartedly support it, especially the price. I mean, getting it for free is wonderful. And so we look forward to this passing here today and you getting started, and hopefully construction starting soon on an amazing project. Thank you.
Councillor Caputo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ditto. You know what? Thank you. This is going to bring to life an area that is centralized right into the middle of the city. It allows for everyone to be able to come out and enjoy this. It's a wonderful project that's been done. Gratitude to all of you who are putting forth your time, your efforts, and everything to make this a success. And I honestly believe that this is just an added value to the Brantford experience, and to be able to bring forth something for children who might not have the ability to do something somewhere else, but to do something like this in the city, I think is just absolutely tremendous. Fully support this, and at the same time, I look forward to the growth development and the design. I think we have an opportunity here to put forth a very nice looking design that's going to be, something that other communities will certainly be in envy of. So thank you very much, and thank you to Councillor Carpenter and Councillor Hunt for bringing this forward, and thank you to the great people here who have decided to give their time, energies, and efforts. Thanks.
Councillor McCreary.
Well, thank you, Chair. Let me reiterate what a good job you're doing to keep this group on track tonight. Thanks to the folks, I've already said that during my opportunity earlier. I wonder if there might be a member of staff who could perhaps offer a bit of clarity with respect to what is before us this evening. I see Kim has been nominated. Kim, I wonder if you might clarify what you understand clause 1 to read in terms of providing support as required for this initiative.
My understanding of the support, Kim Boy Scout, Director of Parks and Rec, our support has been, we're meeting with this group routinely, sometimes bi-weekly, sometimes monthly, and we're working on with them on the design. We're also working on, I'll give you an example for the gymnasium, that we can design a gymnasium instead of a community center so that we can use it for daycare spaces during the summer. We can use it also for pickleball, volleyball. So it's going to increase revenue, but it's also going to increase daycare spaces. We're working with them on all aspects of this, even the how we're going to be managing this going forward so that it has no cost to the taxpayer. So we're working very collaboratively all the time with Dave and his group.
And we will smooth the waters with respect to us tracking this so that they obtain permits and permissions and
And we've already started doing that preemptively.
super. Okay. And with respect to managing the finances of this project, that's going to live in our finance department, isn't it?
Yes, and we've already worked with Joelle in the finance department to start setting that up.
And with respect to the support we're going to provide, do you have all the resources you need to be able to do this? Or is there anything additional that you're going to need that we may need to fund?
At this time, we don't need additional funding for this.
But you will let us know.
I would let you know.
And do I understand correctly that we will see the report back in a finished format prior to construction?
That's true. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well, let me just say in conclusion, of course, I fully support this. It's a great project. It's an area that's been underserviced in terms of recreation for a long time. I remember playing hockey on the outdoor rink there when I was a young buck, playing with the Mercadis and DePaulos and Smiths and some of the gang down there. It was a superior rink to Recreation Park. We would always gravitate to that one. So I think this is really it's a gem of a project. It renovates this park to something that's really been ill-used and ill-considered and ill-looked after for a generation of folks. As Councillor Martin said earlier, gosh, you know what, we couldn't do all the stuff that you guys are doing in the community, all the volunteers, we couldn't afford it. And it's just a godsend to have people like the four of you and your committee that have brought this to the brink of fruition. And I suspect you'll see unanimous support from us here at this table this evening. And we'll look forward to being there when this work gets underway, hopefully in the early part of 2026. So thank you to you guys.
Councillor Sluss.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not sure people realize how big of an event this is. This is huge. It's exciting. It's incredible, really, when you think about it. If you just stand back a second and you look at this, what these gentlemen have taken on, it's incredible. A big part of it is going to be fundraising, I'm sure. And we've got Mr. Vincent Ball sitting down there, who I'm sure is going to write a huge front page article that's going to highlight this to the entire community and probably beyond. So thank you, Vincent. Before you do it, I would like to say thank you because you'll do a great job, I'm sure. I think we also have to look through the little things that we might overlook. I think you probably need the bus to be servicing very close to this park to make sure that there's going to be kids that need rides to get to do these kind of things. That type of thing, I think that little minute detail and getting into the weeds, we should do to make sure when it opens, we've done everything possible to make the thing a success, which I don't think we have to do a lot to make it a success. The very fact that it's being built is successful in itself, but the little things like that. Looking at the assembled group that's spearheading this whole thing, I don't think I have to say to them, but I will. If you hit snags or you hit roadblocks, reach out quickly and we can resolve it before it becomes a problem. Don't stew and fight amongst yourselves on how are we going to overcome this. Reach out, let us know, and we'll do the lifting there. You're doing all the lifting on site. We'll do the lifting off site. But please feel very comfortable, feel very free to reach out to any one of us if you hit a snag that you think you need assistance with. Again, thanks, guys. This is super. Thanks very much.
Counselor Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I too just want to thank Dave and his team for bringing this forward. I want to thank Councilors Hunt and Carpenter for bringing this notice of motion. I think this is a tremendous idea, great initiative. There's a lot of children in that area, so I think this is definitely going to be a very highly used facility. And I think it's going to definitely be the groundwork moving forward for the other wards. And I applaud you all for bringing this forward. Thank you.
Seeing no further questions, I do want to say a few things. Behind my new beard, I got the biggest grin happening on my face right now. You know, as a counselor, and happy to be sitting in the chair right at this time. I mean, it couldn't be better. But it's the things that happen from the community that make the difference in the community. You gentlemen in your group coming forward, putting this proposal, I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm watching what's happened to this park over the years, and you start wondering, will we find a way to sustain it and make that park usable? That would have been a big hurdle to overcome, and had been. And it was after your group had announced its intentions, well, all of a sudden there was a buzz in the community, and that's what you want to have. And I got to say, just again, thank you for bringing that to us. You're going to make generations happy. You're going to embed impressions for a lifetime. There is no price on that. Councillor Carpenter, you have an amendment.
Yes, I have that might be accepted by my board mate as friendly. It's just that some wordsmithing in item number 5. And it says, assist with the coordination of neighborhood meeting in the fourth quarter of 2025 to provide information. I'd like to change that to provide information and feedback from the area residents. So it's minor change, so they don't only provide information, but we also get feedback. That's acceptable?
That is.
Oh, it is? Okay, oh, it is. So I'll just take a quick second speaking opportunity. This is a game changer for outdoor ice in our community. It's a game changer because it's providing chilled ice in the wintertime and that whole season for kids that want to play on ice. And it's going to provide us with another facility the rest of the season that we could use as well. And we should note that Henry Street, just around the corner, is an intensification corridor, and that intensification corridor itself is going to have a lot more high-rise development and kids without backyards because they're going to be living in apartments, but they're going to have access to that ice rink in the winter for playing hockey and the gymnasium for other facility venues for things that they can do. And this will be a game changer because every community will want one after this is done. And I think we'll support that, and that the group will probably keep going doing that when they see how successful this is. So I couldn't be more thrilled to be supporting of this, and the community should be, it is thankful for our volunteers and for this group and everyone like them that provides what's good for people. That knock Brantford need to look up and say, Brantford has a lot going for it. Here's an example of that. Here's an example of why we're such a good community. Thank you. Thank you again.
Councillor Sicoli, first time speaker.
I didn't want to be the only one not saying anything. Almost everything's been said already. It's a wonderful project. I'm expecting it to pass unanimously, but just a wonderful legacy project. I think we all know that you're building something that will long outlast all of us sitting up here. So it's beautiful to be a part of that. And thank you for your commitment to our community. And thank you for your commitment to youth sports development, which is really what this is about for me. When kids have nothing better to do, they get into trouble sometimes. So this is just a wonderful opportunity to point some children in the right direction. And I thank you for your service to our community. Thanks.
Any second time speakers? Seeing none, let's call the vote.
Item 7.1 carries unanimously on a recorded vote of 10-0. Those voting in favor, Councilors Sokoli, Sullivan, Caputo, Sless, Martin, McCreary, Hunt, Carpenter, Van Tilburg, and Samwell.
Counselor Martin, can you please read the motion to place all separated items for consent and consideration not previously voted on the floor?
Yeah, as soon as I find it here. Here we go. I move that all items contained within the consent, consideration and consent, 6.1 and 6.2, not separated for discussion purposes, be approved.
We'll now take up item 6.2.3, Brantford Youth Council Year in Review 2024-2025, Empowering Youth Strategy. As there was a delegation, any discussion? Councillor Samwell.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Chair. First, I want to start by thanking the Brantford Youth Council. Your leadership ensures that youth voices are at the heart of this strategy. This update highlights a range of opportunities we are creating for young people, from the Indigenous Youth Hub and the YES program, which helps build positive connections with the police, to the Youth Fusion program supporting newcomer youth in leadership and civic engagement. It's clear that when the city, the community partners, and youth work together, we can really truly meet the needs of the youth in our community. And I'm excited to see this grow over the years to come. Thank you.
Councillor Carpenter.
Yeah, I just want to say how proud I am of these young people and what they've been doing, and speaking with them previously at council, met with them, and the work they continue to do. These are our future leaders. These will be future members of council. They'll be future teachers, but they'll be future members of parliament, members of provincial parliament, but they will be the ones that build our community going forward. And does that ever make us feel good and comfortable as leaders now? Because we know that we are in great hands going forward. We've got, and they're spreading the positive wealth about our community. They're just talking about our community everywhere they go, about how wonderful Brantford is and why. And they're talking to other youth and they're empowering them as well. And that's really important that they're doing that. That positiveness that they bring forward is exciting. And it really warms my heart to know that they're doing that. And the quality of people that we got, young people doing that, is just fantastic. And Brantford should take note of it. Thank you. Thank you.
Councillor Caputo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I also want to just say how refreshing it is, especially in today's society, where kids your age are in front of PS4s, TikTok, Instagram, and here you are presenting something to people your own age that they need to get involved in, and how you're going to move forward, not only today, but definitely the stepping stone for your futures. I can almost guarantee that every single one of you that are sitting back there right now are going to have a long and successful careers, not only in whether it be in business or in science, but with family as well. And I encourage you to get as many people as you possibly can to get involved with this, because it certainly is a wonderful attribute that you're bringing forward. The other thing is, I can't wait to sit down with you guys on next week when we do our little mock councils. So I'll see you next week, and thank you.
Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to echo what's already been said. The youth that made the presentation here tonight did an amazing job. I remember when we had the council to council meeting with the Youth Resource Council, and that was a very good evening. I was very impressed with the members that showed up for that, and it's been repeated here tonight. And I'm sure that you'll recruit new members, and then hopefully you're successful in getting some from each ward. I appreciate that Ward 3 was well represented, but other areas of the city need representation as well. So good luck with that. And as Councillor Caputo said, I'm sure everybody that is here today from the council will be successful in their future endeavors, just because of the attitudes that you have and the drive that you have to see things improve. So thank you for what you've done, and good luck with your future.
Councillor McCurry.
Sure, thank you. So those of you that are here tonight representing BYC and those who are the members that support you in your endeavor, you are getting involved early. You're making connections that are going to last you a lifetime, and you are the model for what happens in our youth. When I think back to my first involvement in city of Brantford, I think I started serving on the Property Standards Committee when I was about 20. And I think back to Councillor Starkey of the day, formerly Alderman Starkey. I think he served as an alderman in his early 20s. So if you have a mind to sit in one of these chairs someday, and I hope some of you may, I think I had a chat with a couple of you last time we met. You're on the right road. You're also on the right road to be captains of whatever field of endeavor you choose by choosing to take this course of action at your tender age. You may not think you're tender aged, but all you have to do is look at Councillor Sless and I to realize exactly how young you are and how much you have ahead of us. Thank you.
Councillor Sikoli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. And I find when you're sitting up here in this role as a counselor, people will often ask us, why do you do what you do? Why do you take this on? And I always answer that it's something you're just born with. You either have it or you don't. You either have the drive to serve your community and your fellow residents, or you don't. And I think all of you sitting here in the audience today are truly a testament to that at your young age, to have that drive to serve community and that willingness to get involved is, like I said, just a testament to that, the validity of that. So I look forward to seeing what all of you will do with your future. And I will see you next week at the mock council meeting. So thank you very much for everything you're doing, in case anyone hasn't told you that lately.
Thank you, Councillor Sikoli. I've got to echo their thoughts. I don't know whether or not I was born into my role. I think my mom would probably say not, but I do know this. When I was in high school, it was a number of teachers that guided and directed me, and we had something similar to what you're going to be doing next week. But we had a model parliament, and engaging and through a model parliament, doing community good works, coming before places like council. Those seeds were planted in my head at your age. Now, I didn't take advantage of it until I was 40, but those seeds were planted. And there's no doubt when I look out at this room and to others that participate, you will be taking our chairs in the future. There's no doubt in my mind, and more. So with that, I appreciate all that you've done. And Councillor Hunt. There we go. Councillor Hunt.
Thank you. And through you, I also wanted to just recognize, I mean, if you read the report, the amount of work that our staff, so Aaron and his team, Taylor, that have put into, all of these highlights, that, the youth council certainly being an integral part of that. But I think it speaks to our staff's recognition of the importance of empowering youth in our community, and so that groups like the Brantford Youth Council can flourish. So again, I just wanted to really put a shout out there to our staff that worked on the report and all of the various projects that come under our strategy. I think it's just great work on behalf of our staff to recognize the importance of empowering youth in our community.
Thank you, Councillor Hunt. I'm just looking for any further speakers or second-time speakers. Seeing none, let's call the vote.
Item 6.2.3 carries on a recorded vote of 10-0. Those voting in favor: Councillor Sikoli, Sullivan, Caputo, Sless, Martin, McCreary, Hunt, Carpenter, Van Tilburg, and Samwell.
Councillor Martin, 6.1.1, What I request is that you speak out now. Are we gonna take these one at a time and vote on each item separately or as a whole?
Through the chair, that's correct. The airport board report has two motions within it. So we'll deal with item 6.1.1.1, which is the provincial support for the Ontario Airport Capital Assistance Program first.
Got that, Counselor?
Yep, thank you. Yes, quite often we pass resolutions here asking the province to do something or not do something, and quite often they go through a shed or into a file cabinet that gets emptied either daily or several times a week, I'm sure. However, this is something that has support from different organizations and different municipalities across the province. It's something that's already in place in a couple of other provinces. So this is something that I think will actually get some traction at Queen's Park. I'm hopeful that this will be successful in going there, because it'll provide grants for airports that don't have scheduled service. If you look at Hamilton and Waterloo, they get grants because they have regularly scheduled service. Brantford unfortunately does not. Tillsonburg or St. Thomas, those airports do not get the kind of grant funding from the province that the other, the airports with scheduled service get. So it's something that makes it harder for the smaller airports, and this will allow us to apply for grants for things that will improve the safety at the airport as the first priority. And we have some projects at the Brantford Airport that will improve safety. And we're hopeful that this will pass and that we can apply for some of these grants and improve things at the airport. Thank you.
Any other speakers? Item 6.1.11. Councillor Carpenter.
Yes, Council Martin makes a good point. There's a opportunity here for funding by the provincial government, which, and I believe the federal government is mentioned here as well, right? So for grants for our airport, and simply just because we don't have international flights doesn't mean that we aren't important. In fact, we're more important to the international airports that surround us, because they can't provide some of the services that we can provide at our airport, such as maintenance and the like, that can be done in Brantford that there isn't room for necessarily at some of the international airports. So they shouldn't just be the only ones getting grants. And so this is asking for the government to say, look, provide the grants to all airports in Ontario. And I support that concept of equal support. Thank you.
Any further speakers? Seeing none, let's call the vote on 6.1.11.
Item 6.1.1, item 1 carries and recorded vote of 10-0. Those voting in favor: Councillors Sicoli, Sullivan, Caputo, Sless, Martin, McCreary, Hunt, Carpenter, Van Tilburg, and Samuel.
Councillor Martin, 6.1.12.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a good news story. There's a new company that's relocated to the Brantford Airport, at least temporarily. And what this resolution does is ask staff to work with them in the hopes that we can come to some kind of arrangement where we can get them here permanently. It'll be a great addition to the airport. It'll bring jobs to the airport and to the community. And it's just a good news story all around. And I just wanted to, I separated it just to raise that point, because I think this is something that shows that there is demand for commercial hangar space in the area, and we need to build more commercial hangars to increase revenue at the airport to make it even more sustainable on a go-forward basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. Any further speakers? Councillor Carpenter.
Again, I'm echoing Councillor Martin's comments, but I'm without letting the cat out of the bag, sure the county will be making a large announcement about a new industry that will be a game changer for our airport going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Carpenter. Councillor Hunt.
Thank you. And through you to staff, I'm wondering where we are with the Municipal Services Corporation business plan for the year.
Through the chair, I can just provide an update. We have paused that initiative. Our focus is on the sports entertainment complex right now. That's that project's mostly on my plate, and most of my focus is on the SEC project. But our plan is, once the SEC project comes forward to council later this year, and then depending on what council's decision on that is, and we would pick the MSC project for the airport back up and move it forward. It has a number of steps, so it does take quite a bit of time to fulfill the statutory requirements of creating a municipal services corporation. So we want to make sure we have enough staff capacity to do it properly.
Okay, thank you.
Any further speakers? Seeing none, let's call the vote.
Item 6.1.1, number 2, carries on a recorded vote of 10-0. Those voting in favor, Councilors Coley, Sullivan, Caputo, Slash, Martin, McCreary, Hunt, Carpenter, Van Tilburg, and Samuel.
The resolutions have been disposed of. We'll be moving into notice of motion. There are 5 notices of motion. Councillor Samuel, please read the title of your motion.
Addressing the impacts of vacant and derelict buildings and properties.
Councillor McCurry, please read the title of your motion.
City of Brantford Real Estate Practice and Policy.
Councillor Sullivan, could you please the title of your motion?
Recognizing Terry Fox.
Councillor McCurry, the title of your next motion.
Right of Way Policy Review.
Councillor Samuel, on behalf of the mayor, could you read the title of this motion?
Support for restore order and calling for coordinated action on homelessness, public safety, and dignity.
Thank you. The next notice of motion deadline for the Committee of the Whole Planning and Administration is this Thursday at 9 a.m. The meeting is adjourned.